Welcome to another episode of our weekly or wide right Natty Lite betting show presented by DR of Sportsbook. I am your host, Levi Stevenson, joined by Matthias Schwarzkopf, Jacob England, and Austin Keeney. How's it going, everybody?
It's going good.
Good.
Yeah. Awesome.
We're hanging
back
in there.
Yeah, Austin on baby duty, just hanging in.
Jacob tells me I've got 5 months to go until it starts.
You poor soul.
Poor everybody send your T's and P's to Austin Keeney.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So obviously our sportsbook, our show is brought to you by DRF Sportsbook. We get all of our odds for all of our picks for the week from DRF. If you go on there right now, you can when you sign up for the first time, you can use code WRNL 300, and you will get a deposit match up to $300, minimum of $100. And it's a great way to get going, get some free money to bet with, and just kind of start having fun and taking advantage of some of the really nice prop bets and game boosts and things like that. So, first up, we got a couple games this week for Iowa State. They play Oklahoma on Wednesday night, but we are going to be talking about TCU in Fort Worth on Saturday, January 7th, and Texas Tech in Ames on Tuesday, January 10th. So first up, we've got the TCU game. Currently, Ken Pom has TCU as a 4-point favorite, 66-62, on the road in Fort Worth. What are your feelings on that, Matthias?
I'm going to take TCU to cover those 4 points and win. I'm not saying it's going to be like a blowout city by any means. It's just that Iowa State has traditionally not played very well in Fort Worth. Obviously has snagged a few wins over the course of the last 10 years in Fort Worth, but also this is a different breed of a TCU team that Jamie Dixon has. This is a team that was on the cusp of a final or Sweet 16 last year against Arizona. Pretty much brought everybody back. They're loaded in terms of TCU standards, basketball standards. So tough place to play, tough place to go. It's going to be a hyped kind of place because in 2 days after that game, they're playing in a national title game in football. So, give me Iowa State to not cover and also lose. TCU to cover.
So TCU to cover. Okay. Jacob. Yeah. So Jacob, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Matthias. I just can't see Iowa State beating that spread. So I'm going to have TCU to cover and TCU to win.
Austin?
Under. I don't know if we can score on. I don't know if we can score on the road.
Yeah, so currently, per Ken Pom anyways, the under would be 128. So you're thinking they're gonna cruise under that?
I mean, do we break 60 points? Yeah,
I honestly am.
Iowa's defense is abysmal, and we scored like 50 points in Carver.
Right. I honestly like both the TCU cover and the under. Actually, you can kind of take your pick, or you can set apart if you're feeling saucy, you can throw a parlay out there. But I like TCU. I mean, I would say it's the defense. Defense travels. It's something they can play on the road. But sometimes shooting doesn't travel. And Iowa State obviously can struggle a lot on offense, and the road is typically where they struggle the most. So. We'll see. I mean, I would say it's certainly capable of winning that game and certainly capable of hitting the over. But I think if you're leaning and you're putting money down, definitely taking the under and TCU to cover that. Second one up here is Iowa State at home versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech a little bit down this year compared to where they've been in previous years, but still a very quality ball club. Currently, Ken Pom has Iowa State as a 3-point favorite. Kind of switching that back around as a 65-62 favorite. Keeney, where are you at with that?
Let's take Iowa State here. That's Hilton brings it home, kind of home court advantage kind of game. The spread will be more than 3 points. I'm pretty confident in that right now. So if we're going off Ken Pom projections, I like Iowa State to win by more than 3 points. Obviously, the game's a week away, so we don't know where the line will be, but I like Iowa State in that situation to get a W at home.
Yep.
I'm going to agree with Austin there. I'm also going to go the over on that. Texas Tech likes to score. They've always, you see last few games, they're 100 plus, even though they were weaker teams.
I still see it being a higher scoring matchup.
Like it. Matthias.
I am also going to take Iowa State to cover here, just based off Hilton itself. You can see different from last year, where this year it seemed like Hilton gives his team a little more of juice in the legs. Last year they were kind of, they dropped a few at Hilton. I don't know. Both big games that we've played at Hilton this year, they've gotten up for and just dismantled their opponent, and I think that's going to continue. Also on that train that Texas Tech isn't what they were in the last 2 years, so still well coached, but it seems like there's some trouble in paradise brewing in Lubbock. Maybe remains to be seen. So Iowa State covers.
Like it. I'm actually going to take Iowa State to cover as well. I don't know if I'm gutsy enough to take an over in that game, but I definitely like Iowa State covering that one. I think this is one Iowa State's riding well. They're playing well at home. They're playing well this season so far. And I think that's one where Texas Tech, like I said, is a little bit down this year. I think they can take that one. Now moving on from Iowa State to kind of our national game of the week. Pick one, NFL, NBA, whatever you want to pick, or it could be another college football or college basketball game, whatever you're feeling. That's what we're going to roll with. So let's start with Matthias.
I am going full-blown emotional hedge this week to create chaos for our fellow Packers fans.
Okay.
I do not want the Green Bay Packers to make the playoffs.
Okay.
As many people do not as well. So for that matter, or fact of the matter, I'm going to take Green Bay to cover and beat the Lions, which in turn means that the Lions will win and keep the Packers out of the playoffs. So everyone, I'm throwing the money at Green Bay. Let it ride.
Just take the Aaron Rodgers rushing over.
Suck it, Green Bay.
Jacob?
Well, I don't have that type of hatred right now, but I am going to go into the Chiefs and Raiders game. I see that the over-under is 52.5. I really want to go over on this, especially how last week the Raiders, or this weekend, the Raiders absolutely, scored on the 49ers, which have a stellar defense. So I can see this happening with abysmal Chiefs defense, this being just a shootout.
Okay. Awesome.
Should we talk about the Natty real quick?
We should.
TCU Georgia, because that line, what's it down to 12.5? It screams Georgia. It really does.
You think Georgia's going to cover?
That's what that line tells me.
Okay. Interesting.
Why is TCU a 2-touchdown underdog? Everyone loves TCU. I'm guessing they're the public favorite. Like, more people would like to see TCU win the game.
Right.
Big spread. They're like, oh, they can keep it close. And then it just seems like one of those games that Georgia's going to win 41-10 because they know it's a big one. So
sure.
The line screams Georgia. I love TCU. I love that Max Duggan from Iowa has gotten them all the way to the national championship game. But that line is really scary. It looks like a SEC somehow just dominates again.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. So for my one, I actually am going to take a little bit of different angle here. And I'm going to, it's not a game happening this week, but the odds for it I see are pretty good that I like. Currently the 49ers are have the fourth best odds to win the Super Bowl. Chiefs are favorite at plus 350, Bills at plus 400, Eagles at 550, and Niners at 550. Right now, I'm going to take the Niners to win the Super Bowl on those futures because I like that number, because I think as we get closer to the game, I think those numbers are going to go down. I think they're going to become more of a favorite as we get closer and closer. So I'm wanting to jump on those futures right now. Because look at the Chiefs, they've got holes on defense. They could probably use another receiver to step up.
49ers are banged up a little bit after the Raiders game.
A little bit, but they've got time. But when they're healthy, 49ers, there is no hole on that entire team. It's the most complete team in the NFL by far. The offense is cooking with Brock Purdy. That defense is outstanding. I'm going to take the Niners future right there at plus 550. right now, just because I think that number is going to go down and down and down. You're going to get less value out of that pick. I just don't see the Chiefs having the staying power there. The Eagles got some holes that they should worry about. The Bills are really good. That'd be obviously the main competitor there, but I think if push came to shove, if you got the Niners and the Bills in the Super Bowl, I think the Niners can pull that one out.
So if we're dipping into futures, because I didn't know that was on the table, I want this on the record now. Luka Doncic plus 275 to win NBA MVP on DRF.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Maybe that's what we'll do is now is we'll have a game of the week and then we can just take a future that we like or something like that if you like it.
Here you go. Let's brand it. Feature future.
Future. Right, the feature.
The World Series. Here we go.
Yeah. There's your automatic L of the week.
It doesn't happen for another month.
Usually we just brand the automatic L of the week to whatever Matthias bets on.
We're back.
Green Bay.
We're back. We're about to Eric Hosmer. We're back.
That's true. Okay, so now we are on to our kind of our weekly segment where we put units down and put our money where our mouth is.
I need to address the situation. I hopped off the Justin Fields rushing total.
You did.
Over.
And then it hit in the first quarter.
It hit in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I really gave up way too easily. But not going back on it this week because he ain't playing this week.
Fair enough. So the last week we didn't have an update because Jacob and I were both waiting on the Wisconsin-Oklahoma State game. Neither of us hit on that. Wisconsin did not. Jacob did hit on it. Wisconsin did cover, but the game did not hit the over. And then last week I took Mississippi State -1, which hit. Matthias, you took TCU +8, which hit. Austin, you took Georgia -6.5, which hit. And
I had one unit on that. Can I get the running total updated?
You put one unit on? I had you put down for 30 units, but if you just want one on it, that's fine.
No. So if I had 30 more, I would have 70 -1. So let's go ahead and update it.
Okay. So currently you have Georgia. The Georgia cover did not hit, so you lost out on that one. Because Georgia was a 6.5 point favorite, so they lost out on that. So I'll put one down since you didn't put anything down. Okay. So the actual 7 because now you're at 69 points. So there you go. All right. So. And Jacob hit the OSU, or he did not hit the OSU UGA under. So lost a good chunk of change on that one. Lost 70 points on that one. So let's go to this week. What is your bet of the week, Austin?
This week's got me in a bind. I hate NFL Week 18 because I don't know how to handicap it because I don't know who's playing and who's not. So let's go off the board. FCS National Championship. We got a line out there. The Dylan Kuhn South Dakota State special. Bunnies to cover against North Dakota State.
What's the spread on that one?
I believe it's 5. I'll take another look.
So is it SDSU -5?
SDSU -5. It's
okay.
I know betting against North Dakota State's stupid, but I'm ready for someone else to win the FCS championship.
Fair enough. When you find it, let me know what the odds are on that one. Jacob, what you got?
I'm actually going to go with the over on the Lions and the Packers. I think that is going to be a shootout.
Lions and Packers over, what is the over on that one?
49.
You're taking Detroit Green Bay over 49. Love it. What's the odds on that one?
So it's 210, or let's see here. Trying to find the odds. The spread. It's like 110, 120, I believe.
So is it plus 110 to hit the over?
-110.
There you go.
-110 to hit the over.
Yeah.
Okay. Matthias, what's your bet?
The first half over of. I just lost it because I was looking up Jacobs. Over 31.5 on the national title game in the first half.
Okay, national championship first half over. What was the point on that one?
Over 31.5.
Ooh, Spicy. What's your odds on that one?
-103.
-103. Okay.
For the record,
So-
South Dakota State -4.5 on DRF.
South Dakota State -4.5. Okay. So we got South Dakota State -4.5. Does it have? What's your odds on that one?
110. I don't know. -110.
Okay. Okay. So for my bet of the week, I was gonna put something on the TCU Georgia one, but I'm gonna take something a little bit. I'm gonna take something different. Let's go. I'm gonna take the Commanders to cover 5.5 on the Cowboys. That might be silly money, but I think they're good. Like,
Gross.
the Packers are they're hot, but this is just the perfect time for bad luck to show up, and the Commanders win the game they needed to win.
They're already out.
The Commanders? Oh, never mind. So I'm then I'm definitely not taking that because they've given up hope. Okay, so let's
They gave up hope when they put Carson Wentz back.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's change that to. Let's see. Now I'm all off my game here. I will take. Oh, here we go. I'll take. So on the 49ers Cardinals game, 49ers are 14.5 point favorites. I will take the 49ers and over on a parlay for 107. So 49ers money line and over 40 on that one. I'm going to take that as a 107 parlay.
Wait, the over under is 40 for both teams.
Correct.
Wow.
Yep, the over under is 40 for the whole game.
Well, I guess the Cardinals suck.
Right.
Niners give up after the first half, pull the starters because they don't need it. Kind of game.
Yep, basically. Yep. So that's a plus 107 there. So that's going to wrap her up for this week. To recap there, Jacob's got Detroit Green Bay over 49. Austin's got South Dakota State -4.5. Matias has the national championship first half over at 31.5 points, covering 31.5. And I've got a San Francisco money line and over 40 parlay against the Cardinals. So just as a reminder, before we wrap this up, thank you to our sponsors, DRF Sportsbook. You can always go on and when you sign up, use code WRNL300 to receive a 100% deposit match up to $300 with a minimum of $100. It's free money to start betting with. It's right when you get up, and you can lose it all by taking whatever we pick. So for Matthias Schwarzkopf, especially Matthias, your free L of the week. So for Matthias Schwarzkopf, Jacob England, Austin Keeney, everybody, thank you for watching this episode. We'll see you guys again next week.